Go on the economy, Obama 59%, John McCain 37%. David Gergen, do you agree with John King and James Carville that if those numbers continue, it's basically game over?
I think it's too early to declare a victory, Anderson, because Barack Obama is black. And I think until we play out the issue of race in this country, I don't think we will know, and it may be late in the campaign.
You think that despite the lead in the polls, people might change their mind once they're actually in the voting booth?
I'm not sure the polls are totally believable. I think there may be built in. There is this, this study now that's come out of Stanford University and Associated Press along with Yahoo, saying that his blackness may cost him as much as 6 points. And, I think he's in a commanding position coming out of this second debate. Having won two, having done as well as he has, I think he's established in the public mind now that he is certainly as qualified to be president as John McCain. And he's come a long way in that sense. He's much more sure-footed. He's very presidential tonight. But we don't know about the race factor in America now. So I think until this plays out, and I think it could close some before it's over.
Obviously, we don't know what the race factor is, but I do think it's important to remember that in the primaries, the polls were very accurate. There was not this Bradley effect. There was not the lying to pollsters business. So I think that
you're shaking your head.
Not all of them. I give you the state of New Hampshire.
Yeah, well, that was a very fast-moving situation, where it's just 1 week between Iowa and but after that,
Campbell's got some poll numbers that may actually kind of play into this in terms of how these candidates were perceived tonight.
Yeah, I think we have the graphics ready for this, and these are a little more generic, but who expressed his views more clearly in the debate? 60% said Obama, McCain 30%. Who spent more time attacking his opponent? McCain 63% to Obama 17%. Who seemed to be the strongest leader in the debate? 54% for Obama to 43%.
That's interesting.
And who was more likable? Obama 65 to McCain 28. So Obama pretty much crushing him in most of these polls.
Which is the one that most interested you?
The leadership. Because John McCain went into this was a huge lead on the leadership question. And Barack Obama was the orator, the celebrity, but he didn't seem to have that gravitas and a sense of command that you look for in a president. And he has come a long way in establishing his bona fides on this. I think he's used both of these debates. I think he's been far better in both of these debates than he was with Hillary Clinton.
Go ahead, Dan.
Just on the leadership question, that I think is what is probably so hurtful to John McCain right now, is that they understand how bad the economic numbers are for them. And that's why they have been trying to turn the debate not so much about the economy to who's going to be the best person? Who do you really trust to take us out of that?
To David Gergen's point, though, on race, Suzanne, is that something you hear?
But do you really trust this other guy to take you to where he says he's going to go? And if he's losing the voters on the leadership question, that is going to be a lot harder to sell.
On the racial issue, Suzanne, is that something you hear from Obama's people in the campaign? I mean, are they concerned about a discrepancy between what the polls are and what they may really be?
Well, I spoke with an Obama aide before the debate who said, they would love to have the election tonight if they could, just because of all of the support, the numbers. But at the same time, they're very cautious. They say they're going to put their heads down. They're going to keep working. They're not, cocky at this point. They believe that there's a lot of hard work that's ahead. And part of it speaks to what David was talking about, and part of it just speaks to the fact that there have been so many unknowns. They said 28 days or 27 days is a lifetime in the campain.
So they're not going to run a commercial with James Carville saying the dogs are wet, bring them in, or whatever it is. I can't remember exactly, do the laundry, or I can't remember what it was.